Assalamu alaikum class. Hope so you will be all safe and sound at your homes. In class, we were discussing about transport. Transport in plants. Transport in plants. We have discussed about the transportation system in plants, which were basically there were two tissues. One was xylem and phloem, which we have discussed in class. That is responsible for the transportation of water and food from one part of the plant to the other part of the plant. Similarly, just like in plants, other animals, other human beings also have a system in their body for the transportation of the substances, of the chemical substances, chemical messages from one part of the plant to the other part of the plant. In humans, we can say that there are two systems which is responsible for the transportation of these subchemicals, of these food, of these molecules, these messages. Yes, we can say that in humans there are two systems. One is the lymphatic system and second one is circulatory system. Yes, lymphatic system I have maybe I have told you in lecture. Lymphatic system is basically is a system of transportation of fluid in which the fluid is moved from one part of the body to the other part. Similarly, if we are talking about circulatory system of a human, it mainly consists of blood. Blood is responsible from transportation of these molecules from one part of the body to the other part of the body. Basically, in all organism, if we study about the circulatory system, we have found there are the two type of the circulatory system, and other name for the circulatory system is the cardiovascular system. Cardiovascular system. Yes, this one is cardiovascular system. If we talk about circulatory system, cardiovascular system, there are two type of the system. One is the closed and second one is opened and closed system. In humans, we have closed circulatory system. In closed circulatory system, it means that our blood just only circulate in our vessels, in our arteries, in our veins. But if we talk about the open circulatory system, in some invertebrates, few animals have opened circulatory system. It means that their blood can move out of the veins, out of the vessels. But in humans, we have closed circulatory system. Yes, this paragraph is basically about the transport, about the circulatory system. Read it and find some new questions and learn about them. Yes, the next topic is blood. I have told you in our body for the circulation, the blood is the way to transport of substances. Basically, what is the blood? What is the blood? Obviously, its name suggests blood cells. These are the cells. We can say that when cells are combined, it make tissue, and we call them a connective tissue. Blood is a specialized body fluid, a connective tissue. Connective tissue means that may make connection between the parts of the body, between the systems. That is basically consist of plasma and the blood cells. Plasma and the blood cells. We can say that these are the two components of our blood, which we will discuss in our few lectures. We can say that our weight of the blood in our body is about 1/12 of our body. The average adult have about 5 liter of blood. Means that in adults we have 5 liter of blood, in a amount of blood in our body. Underline these sentences because these are important from the objective point of view. Yes, if we talk about in a healthy person, plasma constituted about the 55% by the volume of the blood, and the cells or the cell-like bodies are about 45% by volume of the blood. Just like we can say that our blood is mainly consist of 55% plasma and 45% blood cells. We can say that in our blood we have plasma in large amount and blood cells in lower amount. We can say that just like 55% is by the volume of the blood, that is the plasma, and the 45% is the blood cells. If you notice this diagram, the percentage of the composition of the human blood, you can see that this is the upper layer, that is one is a yellow, that is the plasma. There is the plasma, then these are the red cells. Red cells are further divided into red blood cells, white blood cells, and the platelets, which we will discuss inshallah. These are basically the composition of a blood, that is the plasma and the blood cells. Now this topic is blood plasma. Blood plasma mean we will discuss about blood composition. One is the blood plasma and second one is the red cells. Now we will discuss about the blood plasma. What is the blood plasma? Basically we can say that it's a plasma. Yes. Plasma is mainly, we can say that plasma composition is mainly consists of 90 to 92% is the water. In plasma we have 90 to 92% is water, while the remaining 8 to 10% are the dissolved substances like salts. Yes, salts, minerals are the component of our plasma. We can say that 0.9% of the plasma consists of salt. We can say that they may be a calcium, potassium salts. There are many type of, yes, you are discussing in bio as well as in chemistry. These salts are the component of our plasma, of our blood. Yes, we can say that sodium chloride, table salt, which we use in our daily life to cook food in others. Yes, in other dishes we use them. We use sodium chloride, and the salt of the bicarbonate are present in the considerable amount. We can say that what we are eating, it becomes the part of our body. Yes, if we are eating salt, it means that after the digestion, which we discussed in chapter number 8, after the digestion it will become the part of our body, it will become the part of our blood. We can say that sodium chloride. Similarly, there are the major other salts just like calcium and magnesium, copper, potassium and zinc are found in the trace amount. Trace amount mean, yes, we have discussed in our lectures, trace mean minor amount. We can say that sodium chloride and the carbonates, salt of other carbonates are present in major amount, while the other like magnesium salts, potassium salts, these are present in minor amount, trace amount. Yes, we can say that if the composition mean plasma composition is mainly consists of water and the salt. Is any change in the amount of the salt in our plasma, it can cause a serious effects, like it can change the pH of our blood. Our pH of our blood is 7.4. Yes, this one is important from the objective point of view. Yes, our blood pH is 7.4. If a simple change, if a minor change in our composition of the salts, yes, it can change the pH of the blood. pH mean, we can say that if the pH is changed, it means that we will have to face the serious problems. And if it change to a very little bit, we can say that in a higher amount, like if it changes at one point, it can cause a death. Yes, because we have discussed about every chemical reaction is taking place in our body at a specific pH. If the pH will change, we can say that pH is changed in our body. It means that many chemical reactions which are occurring in our body will be stopped. If the reactions will stop, if the chemical reactions which are occurring, which are taking place, which are, yes, we can say that many chemical reactions in our body which are taking place every time, if they were stopped, pause, if they are closed, yes, they are stopped in our body, it means that our body functioning is closed. If our body function is closed, it means that we will die. Yes, so in order to maintain the pH of the blood, it's compulsory that we have to take the minerals, we have to take the salts in an adequate amount in our body. Just like salts, there are many proteins that make up by 7 to 9% by the weight of the plasma. It means that one is the water, second one is the salt, and third one is the protein. Yes, these are the part of our plasma. Plasma is present in our blood. Yes, we can say that the important protein present in are the antibiotic fibrinogen and the albumin maintains the water balance of the blood. We can say that there are three main. One is the antibiotic, you are familiar with them. Yes, fibrinogen. Fibrinogen is the protein. Yes, we have discussed in our previous topic, like yes, in the role of liver, I have told you what is the fibrinogen. These are the proteins which are responsible for the healing. We can say that it makes, whenever we get an injury on our skin, our blood clotting is very essential. Yes, so these blood clotting is formed by the fibrinogen protein, and third one is the albumin, maintain the water balance of the blood. Yes. Next, the plasma also contain the digested food absorbed from the digestive system, nitrogen waste, and hormones. Respiratory glucose, that is the carbon dioxide, oxygen, are present in the plasma. Yes, he's discussing. He's telling about that plasma also contain the digestive food, which we have digest, what we are eating, what we are taking in, we are taking in. Yes, these are further broken down into the smaller component. Then it becomes a part of our blood. Similarly, inhaling and exhaling. Yes, we are inhaling oxygen. Hemoglobin is present in our blood, which transport the oxygen. It means that it contains the oxygen, and respiration is also occurring in our body. Respiration product is carbon dioxide, which we are exhaling. Yes, it means that our plasma is also consist of the small amount of the carbon and oxygen in our body. This is the composition of the plasma. Mainly you will notice that one is the water, second one is the salt, and third one is the protein, and then the last one is the carbon dioxide and the oxygen. Yes, these were the important, and you will read this paragraph and you get that what I'm telling you about this paragraph, this blood plasma. Yes. Next one is blood cells and cell-like bodies. Blood cells. Yes, I have told you our blood is mainly consist of plasma and the blood cells. But blood cells also are further divided into the three types. One is the white red blood cells, second one is red blood cells, and third one is platelets. The second name for the red blood cells is erythrocyte. White blood cells are also called leukocyte, and the platelets are also called thrombocytes. Now the red blood cells, erythrocytes, red blood cells. Yes, you are familiar with them. I am familiar with it. Yes, red blood cells. What are the red blood cells? Or mainly blood. Is we can say that whenever I am told you about blood, the first thing come into your mind is the red blood cells. Yes, its name suggests red. Our blood color is red. Yes, these cells are responsible to give the color red to our blood. Red blood cells, we can say that this is present in a huge amount in our body. They are present in abundant amount. We can say that cubic millimeter. This is a very small amount of the blood. It contain 5 to 5.5 millions of the red blood cells in the males, and 4 to 4.5 million in female. You can say that it's a huge amount. We can't see the cell, a single cell with our naked eye. Yes, we can see that if we have a cubic millimeter, we have a very small amount of blood. It means that in them, in this small amount of, we can say that a huge amount of cells are present in this small amount of blood. Yes, red blood cells are present in large amount. In males they are about 5 to 5.5 million, and in female these are about 4 to 4.5 millions. Yes, if this small amount contains a huge amount of red blood cells, it means that in our body there are the billions of the red blood cells in our body. Yes, red blood cells are formed, they have a nucleus. When red blood cells are formed, they have nucleus. In mammals, a red blood cells, when cell matures, its nucleus is lost. Like we can say that our cells have nucleus. Yes, we are eukaryotes and we have nucleus in every cell. It means that we have, if we are infant, if we were child, if we were a children. Yes, now we are adult. In all stages we have nucleus in our cell, in our red cells. But if we talk about mammals, when they born, they have nucleus in their red blood cells, and when they mature they lose their nucleus. After the loss of the nucleus, red blood cells enters the blood. After about 95% of the cytoplasm of red blood cells is filled with the hemoglobin, which transport oxygen and a small amount of carbon dioxide. Yes, basically, I have told you this is for the transport of oxygen. Oxygen mean every part of our body requires oxygen. and this oxygen comes from inhaling, which we are inhaling. We are inhaling air which is basically oxygen. It means that this oxygen is transport from our lungs to the every part of the body via the blood. Red blood cells is a responsible in all organisms, either they are mammals, they are birds, they are humans, they are animals, they are microorganism, no sorry, not microorganism. We can say that all the organisms required a proper supply of oxygen in their body, and this supply of oxygen is transported by the mean of the red blood cells. Red blood cells are bioconcave. Yes, you are familiar with the concave and the convex shapes. I have told you in our lecture. Concave, bioconcave. They are basically in shape. They are bioconcave and have a elastic cell membrane. Their cell membrane are elastic. Elastic means they have flexibility. In the embryonic and the fetal life, they are formed in the liver and spleen. Yes, we can say that in children. Red blood cells are formed in liver and in spleen, while in adult, for example, we are adult and our red blood cells are forming in the bone marrow. Yes, bone marrow mean the part of the bone when two yes in the bone we have bone marrow. Is we can say that it's a fluid on in which the red blood cells are forming. And average lifespan, every cell have a lifespan. We can say that at which it's formed and destroyed. Our red blood cells have lifespan is 4 months, 120 days. Yes, 4 months. And it's a very interesting information for us, like in every second in our body about 2 to 10 million red blood cells are formed and destroyed. Now you can estimate the amount of the red blood cells in our body. Yes, in every second 2 to 10 million of red blood cells are formed and destroyed. It means that we have billions of cells, in which we can say that for the red blood cell this is a few, we can say that 2 to 10 million. If we are comparing with whole, it's very little amount. Yes, and if we discuss like this, 2 to 10 millions, for us it's a huge amount. Yes, every second 2 to 10 millions of cells are formed and destroyed at the same time. Yes, and which were break down in the liver and supplied by the phagocytosis. Phagocytosis mainly basically the destruction, yeah, destroy of we can say that the destruction of red blood cells is take place by the phagocytosis. Next is white blood cells, which we will discuss about in our next lecture. Okay class, thank you, have a nice day.